deal. And this one is from our #1 food brand here at the Q, and that is Rastelli's. Multiple winners of Customer Choice Food Awards here as well. So this one is your choice. Do you want 8 or do you want 16 of the 6-ounce sirloin steaks with the Himalayan sea salt? Brand new today. So if you want 8, it's going to be $79.98. But stock up and save and get the 16 for $139.98. That's a savings of almost $40. And if you happen to get that 16 count, we're talking about $8.74 per steak. I know. M133479 is your item number. And this sirloin, what I love about a sirloin, period, it's that kind of versatile steak that we love because you really can do like anything with the sirloin. Not here by myself. Chris Minster is here. How are you from the Rastelli's team? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Love that we have the sirloin. These are I've gifted these before to my aunt. She loves the sirloins.
They are absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
And first of all, Monifa, you really said it. And if you take a look at this, and this is what's really important about this, I'm going to cut this in half. This is the everything steak, like you said. But look at this. There is no fat on these steaks.
Nope.
You're going to eat this steak from end to end. And look how absolutely beautiful and juicy that is. And that comes from that wet aging that we do. So this is aged, this is Black Angus from our farmers out of the Midwest. This is aged for 28 days, and what that does, it helps those enzymes mingle with the proteins,
yes,
and it makes it really, really tender. You're not going to find that at the supermarket. But then what we do is we take out all the gristle, all the fat, everything. So you're going to eat this from end to end. So when you look at 6 ounces of steak, Monifa,
yeah,
it's a lot of steak.
It's a lot of steak, and literally it is end to end. There's not an ounce of fat on this steak. So if you're looking for a leaner choice of a meat, we're all trying to make smarter decisions,
yes,
right? I always say everything in moderation. It's nice though when you have the choice to get this home. It's not that filet, but you still have that flavor, and it's end to end edible. Every morsel of this steak you can eat.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that because the marbling in this steak is going to keep it really juicy. Even though it's really, really lean and you don't see any fat whatsoever, you're going to get that really, really nice steak flavor. And because of the no fat, Monifa, and because it's aged 28 days, the one thing I love about this steak is if you're someone that likes the steak medium or even medium well, because people are nervous about buying steak that you cook longer.
It's true.
This will still be absolutely delicious and tender if you want it medium to medium well.
Nice.
Because of that aging. And let me show you on the board. I did cut you some bites over here.
Oh, you have the forks. Thank you.
Yep, the forks over here. I'm sorry. We have them over here.
They were hiding.
They were hiding. They were hiding on you. But I want to show you. I want you to taste that because that's a little bit medium wellish, right? But I just want to see how tender that is. It melts in your mouth. You get that flavor, that moisture.
And it comes with the Himalayan salt. We have, oh my gosh, talk about like, I've gone to the fancy places.
Yes.
And they'll bring you all these different types of salt, where you're getting this like experience just with salt. So I love that
really
this comes
are.
with the Himalayan salt.
And we use the pink Himalayan sea salt because why? Number one, it helps when we season it before we cook it. It helps sear in all those juices. Secondly, the texture. It has a little bite and crunch to it, which gives it just elevates that steak to the next level.
It does.
And it just brings out that flavor of that 28-day aged Black Angus beef. And a lot of people ask us what Black Angus is, and it's really important. And I want to show you why we call this the everything steak, okay? So we start with the sirloin. What we do is we trim and clean this completely.
And look at that beautiful marbling. Like, look at that. You see it in there.
And you probably don't recognize this because in a supermarket, you're not going to see marbling.
It's true.
You're going to see fat. You're going to see fat cap. You're not going to see this beautifully cleaned sirloin. But we call it the everything steak for a couple of reasons. How about take that steak and you pound it out? Here's your brajol.
Yeah.
Right? How about you slice it thin? Here's your cheesesteaks for the big game.
Nice.
How about chunks if you want to do a stew?
Yes.
Or if you're still grilling or barbecuing, right? You can do kebabs. How about your strips for any type of stir fry that you want to do, right? Fajitas, if you want to top your nachos, if you want to do a teriyaki stir fry with veggies over rice. It has all these different things that you can do with it.
And I love here how like this literally is like what I'm eating. You know, you make your own surf and turf at home.
You do.
Over a salad, the best. If you want to make a steak salad at home, remember if you get the 16 count, It's $8.74 per steak. And we're talking about restaurant quality steaks. Lean. You can eat the steak from end to end because they've been hand trimmed. That's what they do at Rastelli's. I've been there. I've seen everybody hard at work making sure that the quality is top notch. And so I love that. So they come individually frozen.
They do,
So you can just
Monifa.
take out one at a time, which is really nice.
And this is what's so important about this. You can see the marbling in these steaks just through the package. But what makes these so special is we do every single one is vacuum sealed, right? To keep in all the freshness, keep out all the bacteria. And then it's going to last in your freezer for 12 months.
Nice.
And they're not going to last that long because what I love about it, when we talk about the everything steak, when you take a steak out, and these can thaw overnight.
Yep.
You want to cook them from thawed, or you can put them in a cold water, and they actually thaw out within like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, in cold
very
running
quick.
water, right? Really, really quick. But if you have plans for dinner and you don't get to it, something comes up, right? You go out, you order out. These are going to last for like 2 weeks in your refrigerator.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And then if you change your mind and you don't want to make the stew and you just want to cook it as a steak, you can do that. It has so many things. What's for dinner? There's 10 different options on what's for dinner.
Oh yeah.
How about appetizers? How about if you do a little appetizer? You're having some company come over. How about right on a bruschetta, right? So there's just, it's so endless on what to do with this. It makes the best chili. It makes the best stews. I mean, it's just endless.
It's that time of year. A lot of us are starting to do chilies and stews a lot more. Your beef stew. What are you using? You can use these steaks because it literally is the everything steak. So whatever your imagination can think of on how to cook these steaks, you can. This is why I gifted these to my aunt. She loves them. She's the cook in our family. She's the matriarch. She's the cook. And when I tell you, she loves this steak. This is one of her favorite steaks because of the versatility of it, which I think is nice. So remember, you can shop for 8 of these. Fantastic. And these are the big ones. They're 6 ounces. You can also get the 16. You can double the amount, but we're not doubling the price. $139.98 for 16 steaks. That is $8.74 per steak. At my grocery store, this is cheaper.
It is. And I'm going to show you. I'm just cutting this. That's already 6 slices, right? There's 7, right? You're going to get, I mean, that's 8. That's 9.
Yeah, 6 ounces is a lot.
So yeah, when you're talking 6 ounces with no fat, eating end to end, you're gonna feed. You can feed 2 people with this, especially with a salad. If you're having a nice lunch, or even steak and eggs in the morning, this is absolutely delicious. It's gonna melt in your mouth. You'll never ever have a sirloin that is tender as this. And the thing that we're so proud about this, Monifa, this is the first item that Rastelli's brought to QVC.
Look at that.
Over what? Almost 10 years now. It's over 9 years now, right?
Yeah.
But it's the first item that we brought, and we're really proud of it.
People love a sirloin. It's easy. It's easy. It's not as expensive as typically like a filet, right? Or like a T-bone, but you're still getting flavor. It's still tender. You can do so much more with it. Like with the filet, you go, yeah, no, I'm probably not going to make a stew with this filet. You know what I mean? But with the sirloin, you go, yeah, I'm going to use that for a stew. Or yeah, I'm going to use that for my kebabs. With the filet, you're probably not going to do all of those things with. So it's just really a versatile steak to throw on top of those salads. Have those steak and eggs in the morning. Make that surf and turf. Throw it with some of your shrimp. It's easy. Cooks pretty quickly as well.
It does.
And it holds really nicely when you're going to freeze them because they're individually frozen, which is great.
And think about the big game coming up.
It's coming up.
This makes the absolute best cheesesteaks you'll ever have. I mean, you slice them thin, you put them, you're gonna get at least 2 cheesesteaks from just one of these, Monifa.
And it comes with the salt. It comes with this Himalayan sea salt, this pink Himalayan sea salt, which you can throw it on after if you want. You can throw it on while it's cooking if you want, but it really ups the flavor. I used to be a person of like, oh my gosh, salt, I don't wanna have a lot of salt, but I learned from my doctor that everything is okay in moderation.
It really is.
You just add a little bit to it. You will be so surprised. It bumps that flavor up with just a little bit, so you don't have to go overboard with the salt, which is nice. And the pink Himalayan salt is really good. It's M133479, your choice of 8 or 16 of these sirloin steaks. Again, it's $79.98 for the 8, but stock up and save and get the 16 for $139.98. You're saving almost $20 if you get the 16 count. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, Monifa.
Nice to
Great
see
to see you.